Good evening. Glory and honor to our Father Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, as he and all that in them is. And to Messiah, YHWH, the prophet from the Father, as was Moses, but also the high priest after the order of Melchizedek, that is also the atoning blood for the sins of his people, and will be soon the king of planet earth, given to him by the Father. Glory and honor to our Father Yahweh, and glory and honor to Messiah YHWH. Greetings to the 12 tribes, the awakening 12 tribes, the awakening 12 tribes of the bloodline of Abraham, of Isaac, and of course, of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Greetings. And of the 144,000 representing the 12 tribes, among them were the forerunners of the return of Messiah YHWH in the establishment of the Messianic kingdom in just the next few years. Greetings. Greetings to the precious ones, the ones who have escaped the wrath by coming to the Hebrew Messiah, the line of the tribe of Judah, from among the children of Shem, Ham, and Japhet. Greetings. Greetings to the chat. Sister Love Blue, Brother Superstar, Only One Way, Brother Baldy Thorpe, Brother Mark, Sister Azariah Bat Yisrael, Hebrew Wanda, Brother Stephen Kelly. Glory and honor to the Father, and greetings to all of you. Before we begin, Brother Lonnie, greetings to you and Sister Joyce. I wanted to just announce we are now in the beginning stage of preparing for Memorial Day 2025. We did it in 2023. We skipped it this year. My father's passing, among other things, stopped it and hindered it, or, the Most High didn't have it this year. But we're planning for Memorial Day weekend 2025. And so we begin that now. And I sent out an email today. Now, I'm 100% sure I didn't catch everybody that I should have caught on email. So I wanted to make this announcement today, because the first step that we need to take is I need y'all to email me. And so far I've gotten 2 responses, but I need y'all to email me. If you get the email me and say, I'm coming in 2025. Okay. If you did not get the email, today, I'm going to put my email in the description right here. In the chat, so you can see it. Email me and let me know that you are interested in coming. I need that information first. Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure I got it. Email me and let me know, and send me your email and let me know you're interested in coming. Now, once I get a consensus of who is interested in coming, at some point in October, which October is next week. So it's probably not going to be next weekend, but the weekend after that, we will get together online and talk about the cost of the weekend for each family. It's going to be per family, and it's going to be the cost by family. The lady that is running the same lady that ran it last year, but she's more in charge this time than she was last time. She'll be giving me final numbers based on how many people we anticipate coming. That's why we need to know who's interested in coming. And then we will get a cost per family. At that point, you'll now know how much it is, and we will know you're interested in coming. And then at that point, once we know everybody's interested in coming, it's going to be at the Mystic Dunes here in Florida. I think it's called Celebration Florida, the Mystic Dunes in Celebration Florida. It's a resort. We had it there in 2023. We're going to have it there again in 2025. And then we will, at that point, we'll have the number, and then we'll have a date by which you have to have your funds in. It'll probably be March, late March or early April of next year, like that's the way it was before. And so you have to have your funds in at that time. And then at that point, we'll have the crew that's coming. So that's going to be the order of things. And, again, this is the time. So, look, you know, and I know the time flies real fast. See, it's September still. Please let me know. That's all I'm asking for you. Let me know so that I can have an idea of who's interested. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't be a Hebrew and wait till the last minute because it ain't gonna work. Okay. So we gotta get this stuff together. That's why I'm here. It is September 25th, and I'm letting everybody know. Please email me. You know, and I see you, Brother Lonnie. I figure you and Sister Joyce coming, but please email me. I need you to email me and let me know you're coming. Okay. And then we can have an official count. And then once I get the count, I'm gonna send out another email where we're gonna have a meeting, probably on a Saturday night. We'll have a meeting, and then we'll do a Zoom meeting, and everybody will come. We'll confirm everything, and then we'll go from there. I just need y'all to. Okay, thank you, Brother Lonnie. I just need y'all to let me know. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say about that today. I just wanted to make sure everybody's aware, and that's the situation, and we'll move forward from there. Now, Wednesdays, as you all know, are designated for current events, and there's a lot of current events out here. There's a lot of current events out here, and a lot of times I don't even know what to choose. I have to let the Most High choose for me because, like today, I had something in mind, but then I'd say in the last hour, the Most High gave me something else. Okay, and so there's a lot going on now. One thing I don't believe and don't like clickbait. So why did I bring that up? Well, you see the title, Hitler, Trump, and the New Civil War. That ain't no clickbait. That's what we're going to talk about. And yes, it's very serious. Okay? Very serious. Now, brethren, we know that at this point, this is now the 6th month of the Hebrew year. We're in the back half of the 6th month. This morning, I was talking to some of the brothers. By the way, I got to thank you, brothers, again that came through for sister there in Africa and her children. Man, great job by the brethren. Praise to the Most High Yah. That I want to say that. But the other day, I was talking to the brothers on a chat early in the morning because the moon was so clear. The moon was in the north. In the northwest, it was so clear, and then this morning it was in the straight east, and it's the waning crescent. If you saw it, and where we are this morning, I wanted to get a good look because this storm is coming through by tomorrow. They expect it, and so I don't expect to be able to see it, at least for a few days, but. It was so clear in the east this morning with all of the stars, and that scripture always comes to my mind. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament show us his handiwork. And so I was telling the brethren, it was a spectacular thing. And what it reminds me of every day that I see it is where we are, what period of history we're in. We all understand that starting 6 months ago, actually next month will be 6 months ago. It's the 3.5-year period before the 40th Jubilee. Okay. The 40th Jubilee is in the 7th month, the Hebrew 7th month, which is between September and October, the 10th day of the Hebrew 7th month in 2027. And what I believe right now, what's going on is Yah's people are being prepared for the final seal that we'll receive before the events take place that which causes us to end up on the sea of glass. Okay. And we'll go over that tonight. Okay. So with that in mind, first, I want us to understand the Bible. And again, please study the Bible. Really and truly all the information that you need to make it through these next few years is in here. Everything is in here. And the Father Yah has been leading the brothers and sisters to start reading their Bible and to pray to him. And I can bear witness, and I know some of you can bear witness of the great things he has been showing us and the things he's been doing for us to get us prepared. As we are learning to trust him and we're learning his word, and he is preparing us for a final seal in our foreheads of his spirit. And so it's deadly serious, right? And so please, it's simple. I know you'll hear people, teaching to study all kind of books, but it's not that complicated. It's just this one. This is the King James Bible, the King James, KJV, regular King James. Pray to the Father for the power of his eternal spirit. Let me tell you, the Father's spirit. See, that's what the Christians will call a Trinity. The Father's spirit is not part of no Trinity. It's the Father's spirit. It's part of him. Okay? And so he's the only God. And then there's Messiah at his right hand. That's it. There ain't no Trinity. And the Father's spirit is an eternal spirit, a perfection of righteousness and truth. And whoever receives that spirit from him has eternal life, because that spirit will never die. It is the most powerful entity on planet Earth. There's nothing even close. And that spirit will guide you through this word. And we are the disciples of the Messiah and the disciples of the Father. And that spirit will guide us through this word and prepare us to receive that seal. There is no organized religion. There's no camp. There's no man-made entity of any kind that can do that. None. So please read your Bible. Pray to your Father. Let him guide you by that eternal spirit, and he will have you prepared. It's on him to have you ready. It's on you to be willing to be made ready. Let me say that again. It's on him to have you ready. It's on you to be willing to be made ready. Okay? So please read your Bible. And that's what, of course, we're going to do today. We're going to study the scriptures. Now, first thing I want to do is look at this situation from our perspective as the chosen people of the Hebrew Israelite bloodline and the Gentiles that are with us in the assembly. I want to look at it from our perspective, and the Bible is our example. And first, before we even crack the book open, from your studies, let me ask you, from your studies, first quiz question of the night, was the Messiah involved with politics? First quiz question of the night. From your studies of the life of the Messiah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, did the Messiah get involved with politics? In his day, it would have been the Romans, the Roman government, and Israel government. Did he get involved with that? He did not. He did not. Okay, question 2. Second question. Was the Messiah involved with an organized religion? Was he part of the Sanhedrin? Was he part of the Sanhedrin? Was the Messiah involved with the organized religion of his day? No, he was not. He wasn't involved with the organized religion of his day. He wasn't involved with the Sanhedrin. He wasn't with Caiaphas and Annas in that crew. He wasn't a Pharisee or a Sadducee. Okay. Let us remember, as we get started in the word, Messiah is our example. We know he's not God, but he represents the Father to us in how he carried himself in his life. He was not involved with the politics of the day. He was not involved with the organized religion of the day. He was about the Father's business, and the Father's business, as we know, was confirming the covenant to Israel. That's what he was about. Okay. So with that in mind, we understand. And again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I will not try to tell you to do that unless you ask me. But I would suggest you follow the Messiah example. Don't get involved with Babylon's politics and Babylon's religions. Okay? We have established in our study of Matthew that the Sanhedrin was a man-made organization. Moses never gave Israel a Sanhedrin. Moses never gave Israel a Pharisee or a Sadducee. So that was a man-made religion. Therefore, the Bible tells us, in fact, let's take a look at it in Deuteronomy. You know, I love the book of Deuteronomy, praise the Most High. The book of the law, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, one of my favorite verses here in Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let's read verse 1 and 2. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. Notice what it says here in Deuteronomy 6, verse 1 and 2. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Yahweh, your Most High, commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. Thou mightest fear Yahweh thy Most High, to keep all his commandments. No, I'm sorry. This is not what I want. No, I'm sorry. This is not what I want. I'm sorry. Excuse me, brethren. This is not what I wanted. This ain't what I wanted. I'm sorry. This ain't what I wanted. No, I wanted chapter 4. I'm sorry. Not that I don't mind reading chapter 6, but I have to be honest. That wasn't what I wanted. I wanted chapter 4. Chapter 4, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. That's what I want. Deuteronomy chapter 4. I'm sorry, Akawan Banya, for confusing you, but that's not what I wanted. I realized as I'm reading, I said, no, this is not what I want. I want Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. As you can see, I don't have no prepared notes before we go. I just go right into the word from the Father's Spirit. And again, you read your word many times, and the Father will lead you through the word as well as he leads me, or if not better than he leads me, and you won't be making mistakes like I just made. But notice what it says here in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. Now, therefore, hearken, O Israel. This is it. Hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which Yahweh, Most High of your fathers, giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh your Most High, which I command you. So the Bible is very plain here. He wants us to obey him directly and his word directly. He don't want us adding to his word or taking away from his word. So when you see in the New Testament a thing, an entity called the Sanhedrin, and you will know Moses never started a Sanhedrin, you can know right away they have departed from the word of the Father. Does that make sense, y'all? They have departed from the word of the Father, because Moses was never given no Sanhedrin. And not only that, we understand also, as you look at Luke, that there were two high priests in that Sanhedrin. Moses was never given two high priests. There was Annas and Caiaphas as two high priests. Moses never gave no two high priests now. So you know right off the bat, this is not what the Father gave Israel, which again is why the Messiah came to confirm the covenant, to bring the people back to the Father. Part of the reason Messiah was killed and tried for treason was because he was talking about a kingdom from his Father, and he was pointing the people to his Father and to the kingdom, and that pointing them away from man. Therefore, man wanted him killed. This has not changed. Okay, we're going to get more into that. So now, when you understand that, okay, when you understand that, you understand our present position. We don't take political positions, y'all. My suggestion. Nor do we agree or join man-made religions, whether they be camps, whether they be churches, whether they be denominations. Our religion is our Father in heaven. It's very simple, y'all. Our Father in heaven and his word. Isn't that simple? It's not complicated, is it? It's not complicated. It's our Father in heaven and his word. That's it. Very simple. Okay, very simple. You, your Bible, and your daddy with your cousin. Very simple. Very simple. Praise the Most High. Okay, and that simplicity, brothers and sisters, is going to get us through. Okay, now, that's the first part. We're not a part, as the Messiah wasn't, of this world's political system or of this world's religious system. We don't want to add or take away from the word that the Father gave us. Yes, as Castle King said, we render to Caesar what is Caesar's. We give him his taxes, we pay our bills, we do our thing, right? But we are servants of Yahweh. Okay, or if you want to call him Yahuwah, I say Yahweh, but you know what I mean. We are servants of Yahweh. And we are the followers, disciples of YHWH, the example that Yahweh gave us. And we are seeking it in his word. Praise the Most High. Now, let's look at another thing. Things are about to go crazy, right? And our deliverance, brethren, is going to be very similar to our father's deliverance from Egypt. It's going to be so similar that I've heard some people thinking we're all going to go back to Egypt and flee from there. But no, that's not it. Egypt was a literal local nation. Babylon is a worldwide system. And we're going to be fleeing Babylon, a worldwide system. Y'all got that? So therefore, it's not going to be like all of us in Egypt, but all of us, no matter where you at, all of us are in Babylon. Okay? All of us, no matter where you are, you're in Babylon because it's a worldwide system. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So it's a worldwide system that we're now in. The Bible says the whole world wanders after the beast. So it's a worldwide system that we're in. Therefore, our deliverance is going to be a worldwide deliverance. Now, Psalm 91. Psalm 91. Now, we could get many witnesses to this, okay? But for the sake of time and the amount of ground we got to cover tonight, I'm just going to take a few. So we're going to get two here, but okay? But here, Psalm 91. Psalm 91. Let me begin at verse 1. It's only, 16 verses, but Psalm 91, especially going from verse 1 down to verse 11. Actually, 1 to 12. Yes, 1 to 12. But this whole psalm got to be read. We're going to read this thing. Okay, but look here. This is our first witness of our deliverance. The first witness of our deliverance in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. This is David. And the first witness is David today of our deliverance. Got it? Okay, here we go. Psalm 91, beginning at verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So what does that mean? We're sticking with the Most High. And guess what also? Moses said his presence will be with us. That is the shadow of the Almighty. That is his guardianship. We are under his protection. Okay, you got me so far? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. Why is it secret? Well, let me ask you a very simple question. How many people do you know personally, or even that you've heard of, are seeking the Heavenly Father and his word? I mean, with no church, no denomination, no man-made religion, just the Heavenly Father and just the Bible. How many people? See, that's why it's called a secret place. Not that anybody can't find it. Check this out. Very few people are looking. That's the truth about it. Very few people are looking. So he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Most High. In him will I trust. See what I said? They say he is my refuge and my fortress, my Most High. He's my everything. That's what he got to be for us. Everything. Okay? In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Let me just say this real quick about a fowler. Do you know what a fowler is? Like, do you know what a fowler is? Like in the Bible, the snare of the fowler. What's the fowler? The word fowler has the word foul in it, like Fowl. Fowl. What is a fowl? A fowl is a bird. Okay, so that's right. Thank you, Brother Mark. That's right, Brother Mark. Praise the Most High. A fowler is a bird catcher. And so he's comparing our enemies to people that lay snares, like people lay snares, like a trapper. That's right. Like an animal trapper, bear trapper, bird catcher. He said, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. What's a pestilence? It's a disease. Let me ask you all a question. Are there diseases hitting the planet now? Are people catching diseases that maybe even 100 years ago people never even heard of? Look, aside from the ones that we know about, which I can't speak on without getting dinged, and you know what I'm talking about. Aside from them that came around 2019, there's others, and there's been others. Not only that, you know what I found out today? 70,000 people last year. 70,000 people in the United States last year died of fentanyl poisoning. 70,000. And they said that that's more people than the soldiers that died in Vietnam and the Middle East War I and Afghanistan combined in the United States. They said every week, 22 teenagers die of fentanyl poisoning. And the people from the Department of Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, they can't keep up with it. They can't keep up with it. Now, one thing I have learned, and I think you understand what I'm about to say. Say, for example, y'all heard of MK Ultra, right? The mind control program that now is everybody is public information. So I'm not saying anything that's a conspiracy theory. This is a public information. There was a program run by the CIA called MK Ultra, and it was a mind control program run by the CIA. Okay, run by the government. They have ceased MK Ultra. Okay, that's what they say. But let me ask you a question. Just because they ceased the program called MK Ultra, you think they've stopped mind control? Just because they ceased the program called MK Ultra, you think they stopped mind control? Huh? Or we know that it's a true statement, it's a truism, it's been proven that the CIA, in conjunction with certain elements of the government, namely Oliver North from the 1980s, were bringing drugs in from Central America and turning it into crack cocaine and putting it in South Central Los Angeles. And the biggest dealer there was this man named Freeway Ricky Ross. He was so big that they said he had so much cash he was making from crack because it was new, that he had this money stacked in bedrooms all the way to the ceiling. Didn't know what to do with the money. And we know that that scourge of crack cocaine went from South Central into every black neighborhood in the United States. We know that. Okay, scourge through the 80s, 90s. Now, apparently, crack is not as big as it was. People still using it, but apparently it's not as big as fentanyl, right? But do you think the government got out of the drug business because they stopped shipping crack from Central America and Nicaragua? You think they got out of the drug business? They didn't need to do it no more? They just stopped, right? So what is the word telling us? That with pestilences and traps, the Father in heaven will keep you from traps and pestilence. Very important, especially now, right? Wait a minute. This is all part, we're reading this as the witness of the Hebrew Israelite deliverance. Because David's a Hebrew Israelite, and guess who he's writing about? Hebrew Israelites. So let's keep reading. Verse 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. See, we're going to see some bad things, brethren. We're already seeing it. You know, I hate to even say it, but it was in the news yesterday. 3-year-old girl was raped and stabbed to death in upstate New York yesterday. 3-year-old. They got the dude, but see, this is what's going on in the earth, man. 3 years old. Okay? This is what's happening in the earth. So we're going to behold some heinous things. Okay? Heinous things. But the Father's promising us that we will be delivered. Let's keep reading. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against the stone. See, so we will have, and we do have, angels around us all the time. When you gave your life to serve the Father in heaven, and you decided to seek him in his word, as many as you have, and you decided to publicly show the cleansing and the burial by baptism, guess what happened? The angel that was already watching you, that led you to that point, now he's really up on you now, watching you. And when it's time, you're going to double the troops on you. Okay? You're going to be good. Got you. Guiding your steps where you should go. That's why I say, brethren, as we're going to read soon, we're going to be needing to flee. We're going to see some horrific things, and we're going to be needed to flee. But let the angel that's guiding you guide you to where you go. Even Israel had an angel guiding them. The Bible tells us that. He said, I'm sending my angel with you. And brethren, he's sending him with us too. So he will guide you wherever you're supposed to be. See, we make plans. Somebody asked me today, a funny question. They said, where is the best place to live, Texas or Florida? And I said to him, I can't say that because I've never lived in Texas and I'm too new in Florida. And I thought to my mind, even if I could, I really couldn't, because every place I have lived for at least the last 20 years, probably longer than that, it's been chosen for me. I didn't decide I wanted to go to Florida. The Most High sent me here. I didn't decide I wanted to live in Virginia. The Most High sent us there. I didn't decide I wanted to be in a country in New Hampshire. Father sent us there. And guess what? From this point, even going forward, he's always going to guide us where he wants us to be. I have no choice in the matter, except I choose to go where he wants me to go. Same with you. Okay. So we make plans and the Father laughs because he know where he going to be sending us when we don't know. And he'll give us, like he's done with me, he's always given us dreams and visions ahead of time and kind of seeing through a glass darkly. And we kind of know where we're going, but not exactly. But we know we're going somewhere. He does that. He'll do that. He'll make it plain. And he'll lead you where you got to go. That's right. Praise the Most High. Okay. Wait on the Most High. That's right. See, we got plans where we want to go, but we got to wait on the Father. We got to wait on the Father and let him make it plain to us, because no matter what, see all of this that we're reading right here about pestilence, about traps, about everything happening around us and people dying. It's because it's not happening to us. It's because we are where the Father wants us. We're where he wants us. So no matter where it is, if he has you there, you're good. I don't care where it is. It could be any place on this planet. If he has you in that place, you're good. The problem is you going where you want to go and he didn't lead you there. There you have a problem. There you have a problem. Okay. No matter where it is. Okay. So always seek to be under the shadow of the Almighty. Let him be your refuge. Let him be your shield, your buckler. Let him be the one that you trust. Praise the Most High. Yeah. Let's keep going. Then notice what it says when we are fleeing, right? Verse 13 down to verse 16. Watch this. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder. The adder is a snake. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon. Thou shalt trample underfoot. See, if we are here in Florida, if he have us flee into the Everglades, you know there's alligators in there. You know there's snakes in there. They got them big snakes in there too. They got anacondas in there. But if he has us go there, guess what? He protect us. He protect us. If he has us go there, he'll protect us. Okay? He'll keep us. We're Akawambanya. You know what they got up there? They got them big old black bears up there. They got them big old black bears up there in Michigan, man. So you know what? But if he has you go, you ain't got to worry about it. He got you. He got you. Okay? He said, thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample underfoot, because he has set his love upon me. Now, see, this is one of these Psalms where David is writing, and all of a sudden the Father just steps in and starts speaking through David's pen right here. This starts right here in verse 14. Notice what it says. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. And with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Let me tell you something, brethren. Everybody ain't getting that blessing. I tell you, everybody ain't getting that. See, praise the Most High. You decide to follow the Father, you're going to get that blessing. He call upon me, I'll answer. See, people going to be calling. Sometimes he ain't going to answer. He said, because when I called, nobody heard. Now you call, I ain't going to hear. That's what he said in Proverbs chapter 1. So now that's part of how we are delivered. Trusting the Father, letting him guide us, no matter where it is, as long as we know it's from him. He will make it plain. Believe me, he will. And you'll be where you're supposed to be. It'll be strange to you because you wouldn't have chosen for yourself. Like I did not choose to come to Florida. I chose to follow the Father, and he led me to Florida. Okay? But here we are until he moves us someplace else. Well, It's up to you too. Same thing. But now let's look at Israel's deliverance. This is the first deliverance. Let's look at the second witness in Exodus with Moses. Exodus, I believe I want chapter 14. Let me just make sure that, like, I don't make the mistake again. Let me make sure that. I do want 14. Okay. Exodus chapter 14. So the Father is speaking through Moses. Now listen here now. We know the order. The Bible shows us the order of how the Father reaches us. Okay, we know the order. It's Revelation 1:1. The revelation of YHWH the Messiah, which Father Yah gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So when it's time, when it's our time, see how the Father spoke through Moses? And Moses said, the Father going to send you a prophet like unto me. Hearken. So now, when it's our turn, and it's going to be our turn soon, when it's our turn, the Father's Spirit is going to speak to us. The angel is going to be carrying the message, and it's going to come to us in the form of the Father's Spirit. And more than two or three of us will get it, so that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let everybody be established. We won't all be together, but there'll be sets of us. Maybe 2 families here, maybe 3 families here, maybe 1 family here. That's how it's going to work. Okay, maybe 2 or 3 families in one place. And then in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, we'll get it, and all of us will know that the Father's leading us. Everybody got that? And I want you to show, he's going to show Moses what's going to happen, right? Watch this. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, chapter 14, Exodus 14, beginning of verse 1. And I'm going to read from verse 1 down to verse 4. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel that they turn and encamp before Pihahiroth, between Migdol and the sea, over against Baal-Zephon, before he shall encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land. The wilderness has shut them in, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, and that the Egyptians may know that I am Yahweh. And they did so. See, when you read in Ezekiel, right, for example, he will say that the heathen may know that I am Yahweh, right? Right? Y'all read that before? Where he would say, I'm going to do this, that, and the other, and the heathen going to know that I am Yahweh. See, so here he's done the same thing, except he's making the children of Mizraim. He said, the Mizraim, Israel, Egypt going to know that I'm Yahweh. Because he said, I'm going to set y'all up. You're going to go out here and you're going to be hemmed in. This is what it means. They was going in the path they was taking. There was mountains on both sides of Israel. So that the Egyptians was coming from behind them, and the mountains was on both sides of them, and they had nothing but the Red Sea in front of them. And the Father said, I'm purposely putting y'all there. So now, even though not one man, woman, or child from Egypt or from Israel was going to die in this situation, they were scared to death. Right? You got me, right? So even though they were being delivered that night, they were told about the Passover and the deliverance by having the blood over the doorpost. They were told about that. And so here it was. They were going to leave that night. Midnight come, they were leaving. They were booking. And so here we go. And they rushing out. And they got mountains on one side and mountains on the other side. And here come Pharaoh and the army of his best men behind him. And they coming to kill him. And all you got in front of you is the Red Sea. And the Father led them there. That's right. And he did it because he wanted them to see he was the deliverer. This is going to be our situation. This is going to be our situation. Whosoever would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Remember that? Revelation 13:15. Whosoever would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. This ain't no fine. This ain't no jail time. This is kill. And the Father gonna put us in a position where they think they're gonna be able to kill us, just like here. Okay, but guess what? By the next day, they was on the other side. They had walked through the middle of the Red Sea on dry ground with the waters. Can you imagine walking through a sea? And you know how deep a sea could be. I don't know how deep it is, but you know it's probably deep, right? And the water's standing up on walls on both sides. You walking right through the middle of it. And you get to the other side, and the next morning you see dead bodies on the shore because they tried to follow you. And you was delivered. That's going to happen to us, except instead of us being on the shore, Revelation, our third witness, Revelation chapter 15. Revelation chapter 15. Revelation chapter 15. Revelation 15, beginning at verse 1. Revelation 15, beginning at verse 1. And I'm going to read verse 1, 2, and 3. Actually, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And if you read the song that Moses and Miriam and them sang in Exodus 15, this is the twin of that. Okay, there's a song they sang. In fact, we'll look at it in a second because this is our third witness. We got to be a little thorough, right? So this is our third witness here of our deliverance. I'm telling you our deliverance first, because what I got to tell you next, it's going to be scary. And you got to know how you're getting delivered, okay? You got to know that you trust in your Heavenly Father. You got to know you trust in His Word. And you got to know He is your refuge. He is your fortress. He's your deliverer. He's your everything. Father Yah. See? Don't get divided by no false teachers or by no churches or by no man. Don't get divided between your attention between you and your daddy. Because the clearer, more stronger your connection with your Father is, the more sure your deliverance. Don't let nothing get between you and Him. Nothing. Listen, before we read this Revelation 15, you think there was anything between Father and Messiah? Did something come between them? Did something come between the Father and the Messiah? Did anything get between the Father and the Messiah? Matter of fact, it was so strong between them that when the Father turned His face from Messiah because Messiah became sin, that's what killed Messiah. He said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Because he didn't understand. How could the Father, nothing came between Messiah and his Father. Well, guess what, brethren? Guess what? That's got to be you and me. That's got to be you and me. Okay. And don't worry, like I said, it's the Father that'll make you ready and me ready. It's us that has to be willing to be made ready. Okay. That's it. As long as you are seeking His Word and you're seeking Him in prayer and in all thy ways, you all know, trust in Yahweh with all thy heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways, acknowledge Him and He will direct your paths. Praise the Most High. So now, Revelation chapter 15. It's interesting. I just realized this. It's Revelation 15 and Exodus 15. So let's look at Revelation 15. Revelation 15, I'm going to read from verse 1 to 4. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass, mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Yahweh al Shaddai. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Praise the Most High. Let's look at the sister text to that in Exodus chapter 15, which is another song of deliverance. That was a song of deliverance. Song of deliverance. And here, Exodus chapter 15 is also when them Egyptians come through that Red Sea, tried to come there, and they was drowned. I want you to see, what did the children of Israel sing? This is Exodus chapter 15. Let me see. I don't want to sing the whole song. Read the whole song, but let's go from verse 1 down to verse 4, just like we did. Well, 1 to 5, just like we did in 15 of Revelation, but we do 1 to 5 here. Ready? Exodus chapter 15 from verse 1 down to verse 5. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto Yahweh, and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yahweh, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. Yahweh is my strength and my song, and he is become my salvation. He is my most high, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's most high, and I will exalt him. Yahweh is a man of war. So much for all this weakness about peace, right? Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. See? So they were rejoicing at the deliverance. And in Revelation 15, we'll be rejoicing at the deliverance, which is why the song is called the Song of Moses and the Lamb, the deliverance. Praise the Most High. The Song of Moses and Lamb. So our deliverance is going to be just like our fathers, except it's going to be worldwide. And first, of course, as we know, we must receive the seal. Okay. And that's what we're being prepared for now. Now, to the thumbnail. Adolf Hitler. You know, this is the blessing of talking to brothers and sisters that are seeking the truth. If you notice, if you're in the world talking to somebody and you mention the name Hitler, they start tripping. Oh God, you're trying to compare people to Hitler, right? Why they start tripping? Because they're trying to hide the fact that there's some similarities here. I won't consider myself an expert, okay? But I did take a course when I was in college, a semester of what they call Holocaust literature. And in studying Holocaust literature, I had to look at many books. I had to read books. I had to read and look at videos and film. And I had a lot of information about Adolf Hitler. And by the way, it was taught by an Ashkenazi Jew who was a survivor of the Holocaust. So in this is what happened. In long story short, Hitler come out of World War I. Okay. He was a soldier in World War I. After he was soldiering, he didn't have, like a lot of soldiers, he was a soldier. And so there was no more war, and he didn't know what else to do with himself, and he was just floundering around. And then he got into politics. Okay. He got into politics and he created a socialist party. It wasn't called Nazi at first, but they did try to have a violent overthrow of the government in a coup in 1922. They failed, and Hitler went to jail. And while he was in jail, that's when the book Mein Kampf came out. Okay, so then he gets out of jail, and they building. And now this is the thing: Hitler's crew, his party, believed in taking stuff by force. Now, taking stuff by force is nothing new to the children of Yefet, especially, as you know. The four metals that touched and scattered Israel and Judah were Babylon, who's a Hamite, the Medes and the Persians, who are Gentiles, and the Medes being children of Yefet, the Greeks, who are Gentiles, being children of Yefet, and finally the Romans, who are Gentiles, being children of Yefet. And if you notice, the metal went from gold down to iron, and each successive metal got less valuable but harder. And to the end part where Daniel said, as iron breaketh in pieces and bruises, so does this nation. And so we know, and let's just look at some recent history. When I say recent, I mean from 1492. Here comes Christopher Columbus discovering, right? He's discovering Puerto Rico. Well, what happened to the Taínos that was already there? They was all killed. And then when he killed too many of them, he needed work to be done to take, they called it Puerto Rico, rich port, because they was taking all the wealth out of the island. And so they went and got Hebrews from West Africa with the Taínos that were still alive. And they discovered Puerto Rico. Did the same thing in all them islands. And then you had the Spanish, you had the French, you had Ponce de Leon discovering Florida, same thing, right? And every place they went, they took over. As the Bible told us in Daniel chapter 11, they divided the land for gain. And they did it with the face of white Jesus and Christianity on the point of their swords, and this new invention they had, guns, right? So they came and they killed the Indians and took over North America, took over what's now Canada and the United States and what's now Mexico, took over all that. They did the same thing in South Africa. The Dutch come to South Africa and discovered it, took it over, and then they call it, say, they are Afrikaners. That's what they call it. They say it's their land when they took it because they discovered it. Okay? And they did all this with violence, right? Then the Belgians did the same thing in the Congo. Then the English did the same thing in Australia and New Zealand and the Philippines. The Spanish went to the Philippines, did the same thing. So that the Europeans, as the Bible is showing us, is ruling the earth in these last days. Did I say anything untrue yet? So that being the case, violence is how they get stuff done. And whenever, especially, something threatens them. So when the Hebrews were brought here as slaves, here being the United States of America, when they were brought here as slaves, they were never intended by the children of Yafet to become citizens, much less equal citizens, because they were here to work. They didn't come here, as Malcolm said, we didn't come here and land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. We were brought here in chains to work. There wasn't no immigration, right? So what happened when we started? The Most High was taking them chains off. He allowed the Civil War. Let them 500,000 white people killed each other in the Civil War. 500,000, more than any war. All wars combined that the United States been involved in, they ain't had that many casualties. White people killed 500,000 of them, killed each other. North against South. That's total Civil War. Okay? And that took the physical chains off us. Of course, they've been putting it back on ever since. But that was a sign. But they get all nervous now. They needed us to rebuild the joint after they tore it up. So here's reconstruction. And we rebuild in Atlanta. And we rebuild in New Orleans. And we rebuild in North Carolina. And we rebuild in Richmond. And we rebuild in Florida. Once we rebuilt the joint, here comes Jim Crow. And they start stringing us up. They created the Klan. And they start stringing us up. By the way, the Klan was with the Democratic Party. I just want you all to know that. The Klan was Democratic. And so they start stringing us up because they're scared of us. And ever since then, anytime children of Yafet are scared, they react with guns and violence. Now, why did I mention Hitler? With this. Hitler's crew wasn't the biggest. It wasn't the most popular in Germany. Listen to me now. They were the most aggressive and violent. Let me say it again. Hitler and his crew of Nazis weren't the majority. They weren't the majority. They weren't the most popular, but they were the most loud and violent and aggressive of all the political parties in Germany. And so what happened, they started taking power. And most of the people just watched. See, a lot of Germans didn't hate the Ashkenazi Jews, but they just let stuff happen though they knew what was going on because they just watched. Brethren, there's a reason why the Bible tells us the mark of the Father is in the forehead, right? The Bible said, hold the winds until we have sealed the servants of our Most High in their foreheads. That's it. But the mark of the beast can be in two places. You got two options. The forehead or the right hand. Why is that? Well, the forehead is the complete 180-degree opposite of the Father. So the Father seals us in his spirit. We become sealed in perfect righteousness. People that follow the mark, that receive the mark on their forehead, become sealed as agents of Asatan forever. Never to receive Father's spirit, never to receive any conviction. Completely sealed in our Satanic spirit. But what about those that do it in the hand? See, the Bible say your right hand does the work. Your right hand receives fellowship. Those are people that's going with the flow. See, it's like in Daniel 3. You know, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah did not bow, right? But everybody else bowed. Do you think everybody believed that that golden statue was a god? No. But they didn't want to be thrown in that fiery furnace, so they bowed. Whereas Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah said, we ain't bowing because we got a God. And he could deliver us. And if he doesn't, we'll just burn. Right? Well, with the mark of the beast, you got crew that is going to be sealed, totally given over. Those are the ones you see on television. Those are the ones you see with the biggest mouths. Those are the ones leading the charge of the current civil unrest we're seeing. Those are the most loudest and aggressive, like Hitler's crew. Then the rest people end up just following. So right now, and I told y'all this before, we studied this in Revelation 13. The beast and the antichrist of antichrist is not a man. It's an office. And whichever man occupies that office occupies that space. So in other words, the office of the Pope is the office of the beast. Because the office of the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church worldwide, along with all Christianity, as well as the head of a government, the Vatican government. Because the Vatican is a government, an official United Nations government. Got its own central bank and everything. He don't need an army, though, because he has everybody else's. Okay? Similar. The image to the beast is the president's office of the United States. He is the head of a government, and he is the head, the president's office of the United States is the head of the Christian nationalist movement. Think about this now. Christian is a religion. Nationalism is politics. See, Hitler's crew was called National Socialist Party. That was Hitler's crew, the National Socialist Party. That's what Nazis stood for in German, the National Socialist Party. Here in the United States right now, you got Christian nationalism. What's that? That's a religion with nationalism, a government. And the head of it is the presidency of the United States. No matter who's in the office. Now, if Donald Trump was to win this election, we already know what to expect. We already know what's going to come. It's going to come quick and fast and hard. But even if Kamala Harris wins, just like with Hitler, the forces that are with that whole civil unrest with them Confederate flags and the ones that stormed the Capitol on January 6th, they're going to become louder and more violent. And now, who are they blaming? They're blaming the border. They said the southern border is the problem. They're blaming immigrants. They don't like black people, even though you got coons that's with them, like that dumb coon running for governor in North Carolina. But they already don't like us. And they don't like Ashkenazis either. But they're really thinking, boy, these illegal aliens are messing up. And everybody, we need, and they actually said, Trump promised them, I'm going to have a force that rounds them up house to house and pulls them out of there and kicks them out. Similar to what Hitler did with what he called the brown shirts. That's what he did with the brown shirts. Exactly the same thing. Except he did it to Ashkenazi Jews. They're going to do it now to immigrants, even legal immigrants. As they talking about eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio, and they were talking about legal immigrants. Those Haitians they're talking about are not illegal immigrants. They're legal immigrants. So they're going to become more, no matter if they win or lose, they're going to become more aggressive and they're going to gain more power. And Christian nationalism is going to get stronger because it's going to be the loudest. See, right now, the United States supports the state of Israel with tax money, with our tax money. And guess what? You ain't got nothing to do about it. You can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. They take money from you. The federal government takes your taxes and sends $4 billion or more per year to the state of Israel. You can't do nothing about it. Okay? So the people that do it, the people that cause it to happen are not the majority. They're just the most powerful. And nobody says anything about it. Well, brethren, you're going to see soon. It don't matter if Kamala or Trump, but if it's Kamala, let's assume it's Kamala. Kamala look like she's going to win now. But if it's Kamala, they're going to get louder, more violent. You're going to see a lot more. They ain't going to calm down. You're going to get more violent. You're going to have more guns. You're going to have more violence and uprisings until they get who they want, just like Hitler did. And brethren, why do I mention all of that? It's going to be scary. But we who dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So as you see, it don't matter who wins this election. It really don't. The same outcome is going to come forth, regardless of who wins. The same outcome. I could have swore that Trump was going to win when that first assassination attempt, and he stand up with all that blood and stuff. Oh, he won the election now. Then they pulled the fast one, the powers that be, and all of a sudden you got Kamala. They so tricky. But I'm gonna tell you what. Now I understand. No matter who wins, same result, same people. One more scripture. Revelation chapter 11. See, this is where we at right now. We're in the sixth church. We're in the sixth seal. We're in the sixth trumpet. But we're about to go into the seventh. We're about to go into the seventh. And let's look at the seventh trumpet. Because the seventh trumpet kind of spells out everything that we've been talking about. The seventh trumpet. Revelation chapter 11. Revelation chapter 11, verse 15. Revelation chapter 11, verse 15. Going from verse 15 down to verse 19. This is deep too. Revelation chapter 11, verses 15 to 19. Now, after we receive the seal of the Father, which is very shortly in the next few years, we'll be giving the last call to people in Babylon. That's why they'll come to kill us, just like they wanted to kill Messiah. They're going to want to kill us. Now, the Father will protect us. It's going to be scary, but he's going to keep us. And at that time, as we're being delivered, it's the seventh church, the seventh seal, and the seventh trumpet. And let's look at it. Revelation chapter 11, verse 15 down to verse 19. When we're standing on the sea of glass, it's part of the seventh. Okay? When the vials of wrath, that's the seventh. Okay? Here we go. Revelation chapter 15, verse 15, chapter 11, verse 15 and 19. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our master and of his Messiah, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped Yahweh, saying, we give thee thanks, O Yahweh Al Shaddai, which art and wast and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and has reigned. Watch verse 18. And the nations were angry. See, the nations were angry. That's what you're building up right now. that anger. And thy wrath is come. So the wrath of the Gentiles against the wrath of the Father. Who you think going to win? Look at this. The nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, that's the sea of glass, and to them that fear thy name, small and great. And check this out, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Everything that man has touched on the planet is going to have to be destroyed and rebuilt. The whole earth is going to be destroyed and rebuilt. Everything. That's why John said, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. It's going to be a new or renewed firmament and a renewed, restored earth with access, the restoration of all things because of what man has done. There'll be nothing man-made left on the planet. Nothing. Everything that will stand on the planet after the first resurrection is made by Yah, including us who are born again in the Father, Yah, in the spirit of the Messiah. Okay. And the temple of Yahweh was opened in heaven. The temple open, meaning what? You see what? The most holy place. You see what? The Ark of the Covenant. The temple was opened in heaven. And there was seen in his temple the Ark of his testament, or the translation is Ark of the Covenant. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. That's the Father's voice. Praise the Most High. So we're going to see a type of civil war. It's coming, okay? There's going to be tremendous unrest, tremendous chaos, tremendous anger. And just like what happened in Germany, after all that unrest and anger and aggressiveness, they had it all ordered the way they wanted. And that's where this is going to end up. And they're going to think they got us. But they don't. They're going to think it's one way, but it's going to be the other way. Praise the Most High. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Sure.